Good morning.
Mm,
Hello, can someone should please confirm if you can hear me, please.
I can
Yes,
hear
I
Hello.
can
you.
hear you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Once again.
Good morning.
Yeah. So my name is Ira Dadigun. Allow me from Bincom Dev Center, and I'm an assistant project manager. I would like to welcome you all once again to the Outsource My Cycle webinar event today. You're all welcome once again to the event.
Hi everyone. Good morning. Please, can anyone hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Hello. Okay. So my name is Amira Haruna, and I'll be your host for today's event. So I'd like to welcome you all to our webinar on driving business with AI, and I'm very thrilled to have you all here today. So, as we dive into an exciting transformative topic, which teaches us on how to effectively integrate artificial intelligence into our businesses to unlock growth and innovation. So, before we started, would love to get to know you all better. So, please take a moment to share your name, your expectations for today's session, link to your social media handles on the chat box, because we don't want this conversation to end here. We'd love to stay connected, build relationships, and possibly share opportunities in the future. So let's turn this section into the beginning of a valuable network. So please tell us your name and your expectations for this event on the chat box. For the event, and then the link to your social media handles on the chat box so we can connect. Nobody is less trying with that. We love to Okay, I'm still waiting for us to drop our info on the chat box. Connect. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Amira Haruna, and then I'm honored to be your host for today's event. And a very warm welcome to everyone on behalf of Bincom ICT in partnership with my circle. At Bincom ICT, we specialize in delivering websites and technology solutions that empower businesses to make a significant impact in their industries. And we pride ourselves on listening to your needs, educating you on possibilities, and providing reliable. Okay, can anyone still hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
as I was saying, Bincom isn't just focused on websites. It's an information communication technology company as well. And then we pride ourselves on listening to your needs, educating you on possibilities, and then providing reliable and effective solutions tailored to your goals. Now, let's take a closer look at today's topic, which is driving business growth with AI. AI, or artificial intelligence, is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's a very powerful tool that businesses can use today to streamline processes, enhance decision making, and unlock new opportunities. So our focus on this session will be on how to practically apply AI on your daily business operations and then strategies to use as well. And then we are very, very fortunate to have a stellar lineup of speakers who are experts in the field. And trust me, when I say experts, you're in for a treat. So these speakers regularly share their expertise with audiences who pay for their insights. And then today, you're going to be getting their insights and wealth of knowledge for free. So please, let's try and make the most of these opportunities by jotting down your questions and staying engaged. So on this note, I would like to introduce our first speaker. So, our first speaker, Olivia. Olivia is a highly accomplished product manager, product owner, and a passionate digital transformation champion with of experience in driving innovations and aligning business goals with cutting-edge technology. She has been instrumental in helping organizations navigate their digital journey. And today, Olivia will share expertise on how businesses can leverage AI to drive transformation and achieve measurable growth. She brings practical and hands-on approach to her work, ensuring that businesses not only understand the potential of AI, but also know how to implement it effectively. So get ready to take notes and learn from her invaluable insights. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Olivia. Olivia, the stage is yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for that introduction, Amira, and welcome everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, really, anywhere you're joining us from. Like Amira said, my name is Olivia Wami, and I'm a product manager with Bincom Global. Really excited to discuss driving business growth with AI. So without wasting much of our time, I think before we actually get here, some of us may be familiar with AI or some of AI tools, um, or we have actually used some as well. Some of us may be business owners who usually try to incorporate or implement, AI tools into our day-to-day activities. So this is really just centered around, I know what AI is. I understand that, AI actually helps me make life better. But what else are some of the things I really do not know about AI? And what are some of the things I should actually know as either a person using AI, just a professional using AI, or a business owner or founder that uses AI? The first thing for us really to know is that integrating AI into business processes has actually become really important. It's now an important factor in driving growth and also enhancing operational efficiency. So my presentation is really just centered around how we can, use AI to impact our business, whether we want to focus on operations, we want to focus on decision making, idea generation, or just to foster innovation. That's actually what I will be talking about today. And before that, I just want to, let's really just take a look at a company that has been in existence for a while now. It's actually, it's a real tech company, just a very small real tech company that's actually implemented AI. And just as a lot of businesses out there are actually implementing AI, maybe starting from last year or this year, maybe 2 years ago, there are some changes that we may have noticed by using AI, even as a person, just an individual really just incorporating AI into our day-to-day activities. We'll find out that maybe our productivity has increased, our time management our time management is much better, and so on. So Retail Code just it specializes on clothing, and their operation is more on traditional marketing method. They do manual inventory management and then basic customer service. And some of the challenges they've actually experienced is, things like they are not they're often faced with things like stock out for popular items or overstock for less popular ones. And this would essentially lead to loss of sales and then increased holding costs. Some of us have actually experienced this if we shop in using a particular brand, right? Sometimes you want to find some products and they are usually out of stock so fast. Why for other products, it's like, why are they even selling this product? Who really needs it? So these businesses have noticed that there are issues that they normally face. And then AI came into existence and they're like, okay, fine, what can I actually do? Right, since we have AI now, which area of my business can I incorporate AI just to make some of the challenges I've faced, right, no longer exist. So we have, before AI implementation, we have them also facing, limited customer insights. They are not really able to tell which demography wants their products and what sort of engagement are they actually getting from those demography as well. So it was really a problem because everything is typically manual. You have a lot of people putting together data, and that data is mostly incomplete and so on. And then you have the mother of all problems that a lot of businesses face, which is your customer service that handles, phone calls. There is now long waiting time. There is SMS sent, there is WhatsApp message sent, but then there is still that hold up. A lot of persons are queued up and you have limited resources. Now, when Retail Co incorporated AI, right, for things like the customer issue, slow response time, what they actually did was introduce chatbots just to reduce their response time. And it actually did, because they found out that there was a 70% reduced response time in terms of customers asking questions and so on. And they were able to also have personalized marketing campaigns, right? Because there was AI analytics that was able to really tell what are the customer engagements like, what do we need to focus on, what are people really prioritizing this time around, what sort of clothes should we sell, what sort of products should we sell, and so on. And the inventory issue also, right, they were able to actually reduce that as well, because now you're able to use AI to really tell, okay, what are the products that are out of stock, what are the products that are mostly requested for. Sometimes this is actually based on the current trends. What are the trends like? Sometimes it's also what season are we at this point. So we notice that if we are in October, there's a lot of product that would actually sell simply because of the Halloween. And then if it's during February period, yeah, some items that would really sell just because of what's it called now? What's the name of this? Valentine. Yeah, because of Valentine as well. So things like that are just some of the things that AI really helps the business to find out, the information that it helped the business to find out. And we can see that before and after the implementation of AI, they were increased in revenue, right? The inventory stockout was also low. Engagement was high because they're able to really focus on things that matter most and not just really be all over the place and not getting the results that they need at the end of the day. And finally, the customer satisfaction score actually went up. So the transformation of Retail Co, right, is really the same as some other businesses have experienced after the implementation of AI. Because the truth is, no matter what area, right, in your operations that you want to integrate AI, there is always a change, and always a positive change at that. But it's not really about just implementing AI. That's not really what is the key thing at the end of the day. Yes, when you want to implement AI, there would actually be tools that you want to use, but do you really have the financial investment to start using these tools? The answer may be yes, the answer may be no, which is why we have free AI tools that would actually help businesses that do not have the financial investment needed. And the interesting part is there are a lot of tools out there. I'll be explaining that very soon. There are a lot of tools out there, but how do you really choose which one is important for you? Which one should you choose, right, to use? Which one would give you the best results, and so on. So we have Jasper AI, which is simply a copywriting tool. It's supposed to just really help with your written content, right? It helps you customize the tone and voice of your copy just to match your brand guideline. And the usage of Jasper AI will not really work for some businesses because they have not established their brand guideline. For that AI to really understand what to put out for them after they have inserted their prompt. So it's very important that you have some of these key informations already existing. So it's very easy for you to get your desired results. We also have Simplified, which is simplified.com. Really, it's also a content creation platform that is supposed to streamline your workflow. So it helps you create image. You can actually transcribe audio files. You can also use other tools for, hassle-free content creation experience. It's still similar to what Jasper does, but you see that Simplified actually now incorporates things like you transcribing your audio files. So which one is going to be best suited for your business? You would actually be able to tell best by doing maybe a little bit of comparison, or even seeking a professional help as well, just to understand which of these tools are best for you. We also have the VenturusAI. This is mostly for people who want to turn their business ideas into reality. I would say mostly entrepreneurs, founders. They are the people that would actually make use of this tool more. And it helps you to generate detailed analysis. So for some of the business analysts in the house, right, there's a tool now that exists that can actually do your work. So Ventures actually helps with information like your SWOT, PIS2, or even the Potters 5, and it offers insights into your target audience, what your business strategies are, your marketing guidance, and any innovative opportunities that would help you as an entrepreneur. Then we have our presentations AI, right? Just like I'm doing my presentation right now. You don't have time on your hand. You're always pitching ideas, still mostly used by founders, but because it's a presentation sort of thing, it can actually be used by any non-technical person at the end of the day. So it just offers you a easy way to create slide deck. So you have your design recommendation, your layout generation, and individuals can actually streamline the process of creating presentation without needing, advanced design skills. Some of us would like our designs, our presentation to look really sleek, but we don't have that experience with, okay, how do we really make this thing look dope, or how do we really make this thing look enticing that somebody will be looking at it and they're like, okay, fine, this presentation is really nice. Things like that. Presentation AI can help with that. We also have Clockwise, and this is for persons who really need to step up their time management game, right? It actually helps you to optimize your team schedules. You have by really just doing an automatic reallocation time block based on priority tasks. So in a day, if you have so much to do, I would really advise that you try to use this to mostly on the Sundays when you know that, okay, it's a new week, I have so much to do, and you really want to just time block some of the activities that you have for that week based on your priority. It's really a nice tool to use for really anybody. The technical people, non-technical people use it. It's really nice, really. And then we have our Google Analytics with AI Future. This is just, it's like an upgrade of the normal Google Analytics because it now provides insights into your website traffic and also your user behavior. So you don't actually have that much time to now start gathering some of the, things that you would need. So let's say, for instance, I have slow traffic coming into my website. You can actually ask the system, because of the AI feature, what can you actually do to get more people to get more traffic or to get more user behavior, and it gives you a feedback at the end of the day. Then Auto AI, some of us may be familiar with it as well. It's just a tool that transcribes your meeting in real time. So if you're having a discussion, you're having a meeting like this, you can simply just get a summary of that meeting for persons who are not on the call, especially if you're working with a team, you're working with a remote team with different time zone. It's something that you can actually use, because after your meeting has ended, every single person who has access to your auto AI meeting would actually get a copy of the transcript. So it's very easy for everyone to stay updated as to what's happening, or where are you on a project or a product you're working on. And we have Grammarly. So Grammarly has taken their products, they have also upgraded their products to have AI as well, AI copywriting. So it helps you just write and edit your text. You can also integrate with other tools like Google Docs and your email. In case you don't know what I mean by that, you have it's like a third party tool. Maybe you want to draft an email, or you draft an email, but you feel like something is actually missing. If you have an extension of Grammarly installed or attached to your email or Google Docs, it actually helps you, with corrections, or with some of the missing information, or your grammar structure. It just helps you point that out as well. And we have QBots. This is one of my favorite tools out there, really. It's a paraphrasing tool, but it doesn't just do paraphrasing anymore. It actually also is one of those tools that have upgraded with the impact of AI. You can now have your AI assistants. You also have a bunch of things on it as well that is very important for technical writers, content writers, and so on. So if you feel like you want to, maybe you're using Gemini or ChatGPT, but some of the words that you're getting out of it because of the prompt you inputted, where they're just somehow, you can actually use Qbot to either paraphrase that information, or paraphrase your content, or ask it to just tell you how it really is. If it's AI generated or it's human generated, it can also help give you that information. And another tool we'll be discussing, which is really the last tool on the list, but it doesn't end here for free tools, is the Lumen 5. But so this is for our video creators. Lumen 5 is actually an AI video creator, right? You can either transform your blog posts, your articles, or even I think it now helps with, you can input a prompt that it helps you generate your video content. It also has a drag and drop feature or interface, just like Canva, with your AI generated video suggestion. You can use it if you're pressed for time, in terms of you putting together your social media assets. You can actually use that. You don't have something, you have an idea, or you have a web page that you want to market, but you don't really know what your video should be like. You just have to copy the link of that your web page and put it on Lumen 5. And it will just generate a video for you. You can also choose to, edit that video. If you don't like it, that's fine. You can also choose to leave it as is. That's also fine as well. So we have tools out there, yes, but if we want to really implement AI into our businesses, what are the things that we should actually consider? The first is you want to understand your business needs, right? That's the first thing. Is what problem is your business experiencing? Is there slow response in terms of customer service? Do you need to boost your content creation? It's just things that you will need to assess before you pick an AI tool. So what bottleneck do you really want to tackle at the end of the day? You can also ask everyone in the organization or the company to provide their insights into the common problems that they are facing and see where you want to, or how you want to just streamline those issues that they are facing. It's very important that you do that before you want to start implementing AI into your business. The next is to choose your tool. Like I said, there are a lot of tools out there. There are multiple tools doing the same thing, but they are not really giving you the same results. Instances, if you use ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity, any of these tools, just try to, input a prompt, the same prompt across the three tools, and you'll notice that their response are not necessarily the same. So things like that are really, it tells you that all of these tools are not the same at the end of the day. So you need to choose wisely. You want to also explore what's out there, right? You want to select whether free tool or pay tool that would align with your business objective. And then we also have upskilling or upskilling really. So when you have analyzed your business, you have also you've chosen some tools that you want to use. Now you need to train maybe your staff, or you want to train the people using it, right? Because if you don't train them, there's really no way to tell if the tool would actually help solve their issues, or it's just like, okay, let me just use this and anyhow let the thing come out, right? So you want to really make sure that um you've taken time to make sure that your employers or your employees rather understand the new working practice. So if you want to send emails out, please use Gemini to generate your emails. If you don't know what you want to send, you want to also let them know that if you're using Gemini or using any of these AI tools, please do not put in, confidential information as well. That's also something that's very important for, individuals to know, because sometimes the instruction is there. Do not trust the system, because it can put out false information. Do not input personal information or confidential information. That information is there. It's also under their terms of use around how they would actually use all of the information you put in, but we still do not read them. So you need to own that as a founder, to say, okay, I want to train persons using this tool, and I need them to understand that they don't need to put out this confidential information while they are using the tools. And then lastly, you want to monitor progress as well. Businesses and their needs are always changing. So you want to regularly evaluate the impact of AI on your business performance. And whether good or bad, you want to also adjust the strategies accordingly. Because you may be using tool A and it's giving you, maybe you're having like a 40% increase in productivity. You use tool B, you're having 75% increase. So those sort of evaluation would help you, understand what do I need to change, what do I need to improve on, and so on. And I mentioned that there are a lot of tools out there, right? You can see my screen. This is what I'm referring to right now. There are a lot of image and video generation tools, same as automation, content creation. There are tools specifically for industries as well, the real estate, finance, and so on. So while we have plenty of tools that are available, not all of them are free. Some of them have, like, the freemium and premium plans, but you need to know that paying for an AI tool does not necessarily improve it, because it's really about the way you use it at the end of the day. Somebody who is using a freemium plan, and someone who is using a paid plan may not really be getting the same results, because their understanding of it may not be the same. The freemium person may understand really how to, go around and over and beyond to get their information. While the paid person is like, okay, I have all of these things, so I don't really need to, try it because I'm also paying for all of these extra features. So you want to test a range of free tools that would help your business. And if they don't work, just move on to the next one until you find the one that is worth paying for. Because it's not really, like I said, it's not really about paying, right? You need to understand what you're using it for, understand the tools as well. So the beauty really of having so many tools available is that you can pick and choose the ones that are best for you and also for your business. Whether you want to just use one for one of them or all of them, you should adopt AI into your company's workflow. There's no way around it. AI is here to stay. So it's very important that you should find a way to adopt it so that you can meet and beat the competition. So these tools are here to just save our time, right? They'll help you complete mundane tasks. They'll also let you produce more content, with fewer resources. So you want to test out your options as much as possible. Now we have looked at the tools, we have looked at some of the ways for us to implement these tools, and we are now going to discuss some of the risks to watch out for. It's really not just about using, all of these AI tools. It's not really about understanding how to use them, but there are actually risks that are out there when you use AI. So some of these risks, they are acute, others are actually abstract. And some of them, we don't even know about them. But we would actually install, it's time to try to install a culture of caution and proactivity, right? Using this session, I'll try my best to educate us. We can also educate other persons out there. The first risk is actually AI ethics, right? You want to have a moral principle guiding the development and deployment of AI technology. You need to make sure that your AI system are fair, they are transparent, and you have clear accountability established, right, for the actions and the decisions that are made by your system. So I think which one of the countries, I think maybe the US right now, I have actually discussing around some to put together tighter laws in terms of AI so that they can just really understand what would be like the damages that it would cause while you're using AI and so on. The truth is, if you ignore this ethical consideration, you can have legal challenges. You can have a loss of trust from your customers. There can also be reputational damage at the end of the day. So while you're embracing AI, you also want to embrace ethical AI practices that can help with your decision making and also help with your customer experience. And we have another risk is hallucination. Hallucination is something that we actually see from time to time, right? While we are using AI or we see AI generated informations and so on. So hallucination is really where your system is generating incorrect outputs that are plausible. And the implication of this is, it can actually mislead users, it can damage credibility, and I think there was a story at one point, I've forgotten the year, maybe 2 years ago or so, where a lawyer actually used ChatGPT, and some of the information he got from ChatGPT were actually wrong, but the person was not aware of that. Not sure if he even cross-read what was given to him by the system So it was a problem because he's a lawyer and he's going to defend a case. So it was actually a problem for that person. And he ended up helping people understand that, okay, this is actually a serious issue. We should be more aware of some of the things that we get from ChatGPT. We should also try to have a validation process, right, and human oversight just to help identify and also correct hallucination before they impact users. So it's very important that you are aware of that. We also have the misuse of data, right? This is really just to say that the use of data in AI system typically raises significant concerns regarding privacy and security. So businesses would need to ensure the compliance with data protection regulations just to help safeguard personal information from misuse or breaches, and also practice ethical data use. Like I said, all of these tools, tools that are really content centered will tell you not to input, personal information. There is a reason for that. Those systems are still being trained. So the more you input, the more intelligent it gets. So you don't want to actually put out informations of people. You know, it's similar to when they say a doctor-patient confidentiality. Your business, you have that same confidentiality with your customers. So you need to be aware of that. And also the misuse of data, it doesn't only pose legal risk, right? But it can also erode customer trust. So you really, really need to be very careful while you use, these tools. Excuse me. Another risk is data security. Let's say, for instance, you are sharing a personal detail with a third party, right? The worker might overstep legal boundaries and then damage the company's reputation. Or you have a developer that's collaborating with AI on proprietary software. This may lead to the loss of intellectual property, among other issues, really. So the convenience of AI tool can sometimes overshadow data security, especially when there is no perceived risk by the employee, right? But the risk is actually there. That's actually why this is something I'm hammering on. You may not see the risk, but it's there at the end of the day. So you need to be really careful. You want to safeguard against unwelcome surprises, or as a company, you want to also implement a comprehensive data security policy just to ensure that any related employee training extends to, incorporating best practices concerning AI in the workspace. And we have our AI policy, right? This is really where you develop a comprehensive AI policy for ensuring the ethical use of AI within your business. You want to establish guidelines that would actually outline ethical consideration, data handling practices, and accountability measure for AI system. Also, there needs to be training and awareness, right, among your employees about ethical implications of AI, and also why it's important to adhere to all of these policies, because some persons can get sued because of all of these risks, right? Employers can get sued. And when you get sued, you actually lose money, or your brand actually loses its credibility. But there is a huge loss from you not understanding or seeing all of these risks involved with using AI. And then finally, we have dehumanization. So if you've used AI for a while or for a long period of time, you will notice that some of this AI generated content lack the natural flow of human writing. So it's kind of, let's say, it's a bit difficult to, or not necessarily difficult, really. If you're used to it, it's a bit easy for you to distinguish, right, between who is writing and who is, if it's AI generated or if it's somebody who actually wrote it. So it kind of feels dehumanizing, right? And this disconnect usually undermines effective communication, right? So you as an individual or as a founder, you need to implement a robust brand book. I mentioned brand guideline initially that would just detail the tone of voice, how to ensure authentic and engaging communication. For some persons who, if you really work with content a lot, this is something that you need to be aware of. If you have AI generated content, you need to look at it yourself. Does this really tell the story, or does it really communicate what I want at the end of the day? Or this is something that would still require. It's very important, really, and we need to be aware of all of these risks mentioned. I think there are still more out there that more will still, surface as more tools are being used. And how do we make sure we are aware of all of these information, right? The first thing you need to do is you need to stay informed, really, right? You want to understand AI ethics, AI regulations, AI best practice, just to help you make informed decisions regarding AI implementation, right? You also want to involve your stakeholders in discussions around, AI ethics. Do you want to have some legal experts involved in your implementation? How would your use really affect some of your communities? You also want to just discuss with your stakeholders so everyone is on the same page. You also need to encourage a company culture that would prioritize ethical considerations in all aspects of AI implementation, development, and even deployment. Because if no one is really saying that, okay, there needs to be these ethical considerations, you end up putting out tools that do not really even try to, I don't really know the word to use, but those tools end up really not helping you out at the end of the day. I think there are actually tools out there that do not consider, they do not have ethical considerations really. So you need to be aware, and you also need to be very smart about the tools that you use. You also want to establish clear oversight mechanisms just to ensure accountability for AI decisions and also actions. And lastly, you want to promote transparency. Right? Some organizations right now what they are doing is whenever you put out, an AI generated content, you need to make sure that it's stipulated that it's AI generated. And for some of our social medias, you may have actually seen, an option that says that you need to check this button if whatever information you're putting out, whether a video content or an image, was AI generated, you need to tick that. I think Meta already has that in place right now. So things like that would actually help with transparency. And as a founder, if you are aware of all of these things, you can easily navigate the complexities of AI, right? While you're also trying to foster responsible innovation within your organization. So, like I said, AI is here to stay, right? it's going to keep growing and getting better. But all of this information I've shared, the good, the bad, none of them should scare you, right? There are actually a lot of benefits of using AI, and using AI is really game changing, right? Already you can see how AI tools have um, change our outlook, change how we actually see things or how we put out information. So there is really no need for you to hold yourself back, right? The unique nature of how AI entered the broader workspace is something to really be mindful of. So as technology evolves, so will AI. The only reason that would actually make AI just become non-existent is if technology becomes non-existent at this point, right? So tools will become more efficient, they'll become more accurate, and quicker, and the number of features will continue to grow. Because sometimes you use tools and you find out some features that you were not even familiar, you were not even like, I need this. Like you're not even aware of you needing that, but you end up needing it. So some experts have predicted that AI would take digital technology out of the two-dimensional screen form and become part of the physical environment surrounding an individual, right? So I think we have started seeing some sort of play around that as well. So we need to be on the lookout. Do not just say you don't want to use AI, you don't want to use any AI tool. I just want to be me. Let me tell you why that's in fact why that whole thinking is wrong. Now, this thing around AI would take our jobs and the rest of them, that was like in the beginning of the AI introduction. At this point, AI will not take your job. Someone that is using AI will take your job, and it's just the truth. You may have actually seen that in certain workspace. You may have actually also seen that in let's say forums like this, or even interviews where you know they are being asked, what do you think about AI? Do you incorporate AI into your day-to-day activity? What sort of tools do you use? And people who keep saying, I don't think we should use AI, they end up just being at wherever they are, really. Because businesses need a way to be more innovative. They want to exceed the competition. They don't want to actually be at one place, just that one place all the time. So startups that face, challenges, whether unique challenges in adopting AI technology, I want to really tell you that Bincom Global addresses these challenges through some of its training, right? We have 3 trainings going on right now, and you can join this training whether as a professional, as a founder, with your team, right? Any way you want, you can actually join this training. We have the best use of AI training, which is just it's a training and integration service really that's meant to help individuals as well as organizations leverage artificial intelligence to enhance their efficiency. So it's targeted at various groups. You can be just you, right, as a person, that's fine. This training would help you. If you are a startup, an SME, even a young person, it would also help you, as well as large enterprises, right? You know that AI will continuously grow. So every single person in this world, well, except babies, really would need to understand how to incorporate AI. They will need to understand how to use AI ethically and so on. And if you want more information about this training, it's on the link on the chat box. I am also going to quickly share that link for us, right? You can see it on my screen right now, but I'm going to share it for us as well, so you can just take a look at it on your spare time. We also have our corporate training. as well. This corporate training comes with a free 20 minutes consultation, and it is a way for you to try to unlock your team's potential, because with the way our service is structured is it's tailored, you have a tailored AI training modules, right? That is just designed to integrate with your specific needs. So we do not do a one size fits all. If you want to focus on Google Gemini, or you want to have a dedicated course for your marketing team, for your sales team, we would actually help you, fulfill, would help you with solving that need. Our training is also delivered to ensure convenience and engagement of all participants, right? We typically prioritize your goals by assessing your current technology landscape and also crafting a course structure that would align perfectly with your objective. So really, that's how you roll, right? We have said a lot about AI, what AI tool to use, how to implement AI. It's a lot of information. So you can simply just say, okay, I need someone who would help me with how to understand this information or how to implement AI better, so I can focus on areas in my business or areas as an individual that I need to improve on. And then lastly, we have the one-on-one AI training for as low as 15 pounds per hour. Now, this training is because many professionals, we have actually noticed that many professionals struggle to effectively implement and use AI to in their workflows, just because of integration issues, maybe with existing system, challenges in managing and also interpreting generated data, or even resistance to change, right? Just stemming from fear about their job security. Now, Bincom Global offers you a personalized one-on-one AI training for your individual needs. It's meant to help you navigate the complexities of AI adoption. And it is we do it at an affordable rate, right? And our training empowers individuals. We are all about making sure that you're using the best, you're having to use AI, right, as good as possible. That's why the training is called best use of AI. Okay, so this is where I end my presentation for now, right? Because we're going to go into a second segment. Just like our host, our organizer said, we have a demo. So it's not really about, okay, we do all of this and let me give you a crash course on some of the things we can do for you, right, at Bincom Global. But the thing for you to note is that when you integrate AI into your business process, you need to know that it's not a trend, right? Because everyone is doing it, so I should do it. No, that's not true. It is actually a necessity for growth in today's industry, right? It's something that you need. It's actually a necessity for growth in in today's competitive landscape, really. You want to make sure that the available tools, right, that make AI accessible for businesses works for you, right? You also want to understand and know how to use AI to drive your decision making, how to also personalize your customer experience. And like I said, I have a demo for us. Yeah. So before we move on, if you have questions, I think I've been talking for over an hour, right? If you have questions, you can drop them on the chat box. But let's just do this demo and then I can answer all of our questions. So if you're just joining us, right? My name is Olivia Wami and super happy to be here. So I'm going to just reshare my screen. I'm going to really show us a tool that is somewhat, I would not say controversial, but it's a tool that has been raising, making people raise eyebrows a lot in recent times, just for a couple of weeks now. Don't mind me that I'm laughing, though, but this tool, which is Google AI Studio, has actually is now making creators to wonder if, okay, what do I need to change? Are you sure this tool would not, come and take the way of me making money at the end of the day? Because if you go on YouTube, you have a lot of how to. If you don't know how to use an application, you can simply go to YouTube and ask questions like, okay, how do I need to, for myself, I usually go to YouTube for food. So I'm sorry if I use that. How to make, mashed potato, how to make tasty grilled chicken, how to insert my code properly, how do I want to use Miro, all of those how to. It actually seems like the Google AI Studio is your second home at the end of the day. If you're someone who really needs that, who does that a lot. So I'm sharing my screen right now. Hopefully we can still see it. And I'm just going to, try to talk with Gemini right now. It has several functionalities, right? With Google Studio, you can actually talk real time. You can share your screen um, to actually give it like feedback or to ask for feedback. So let's say, for instance, you're trying to put together, if you're a photographer and you want to put together your studio, you can actually just share use your webcam to ask Gemini to give you feedback around your surrounding, and it would. But our focus for today would actually be real-time conversation using our microphone. And just to give us a tip, this is not I think it's around a week or 2 weeks old right now, but a lot of persons have already started using it. I saw a video recently of someone using just something similar to Google AI Studio for a job interview. And the funny thing is, sorry. The funny thing about that video is the interviewer actually felt like this person, I'm asking questions, and the responses he's giving me, it's feeling like it doesn't really feel like he has that human touch. So the interviewer asked the person to share their screen because he felt like, okay, this person is actually reading the answers from somewhere. Meanwhile, this the gentleman on that video wasn't. He was actually using his phone, and he was using something similar to AI Studio. So I'm going to ask Gemini, I'm going to ask Gemini right now to help with a task, just to help us see, how it works. Oh, sorry, just to mention, please remember, you do not need to share confidential information still. Okay, it's very, very important that you don't do that. So let me just start now. Hi, Gemini.
Hi there.
Thank you. I need help with my product price list, and I'm going to share my screen to my Google Sheets right now. Okay, so just confirm you can see my screen. Okay, I need help with writing a formula that helps me look up the price of my product based on the product ID. How would I do that? Yes. Okay, hold on. So let's start all over again. You said to use the right formula equals to, can you take that all over again so I can just type as you speak? Okay, what else? Okay, what else? Okay. That's okay. Okay, a laughing face, a comma, what else? Okay, so I made an error. There's an error really right now. I don't think I'm putting the information correctly. So can you just see to confirm where the error is coming from and how to resolve that? Okay, okay. So let's say that's A2, to input A2, correct? Okay, so this is it. Thank you, Gemini. No, not at this time. Okay, so I'm sure we actually saw all of that, right? Um, Hopefully I'm still sharing my screen because I don't know what happened. Yes, I'm still sharing my screen. Okay, so you can see that we actually have a tool to directly help us through a task right now, right? And let's say you want to, let's say I'm actually a product manager, right? I actually want to get inputs around a product page that I have, maybe on the website, and just to ask it to give us some information around it. So I'm going to use what website now will I use just to help us with this? So let's use google.com also. That should be a website, right? Something. Nothing in mind right now that we can use. So let's try one of our one of our products page. And then we ask for, feedback around that product page just to see the sort of information it will give us, what do we need to change, and so on. Right, so we'll start a new one, just a new conversation. And something for us to note is I noticed that it doesn't actually have any sort of history right now, compared to the normal text Gemini that you would actually see history and all. Google AI Studio doesn't have that at this time, which I'm sure is something that will be improved on. Hello, Gemini. I want your help with feedback on a website. Can you do that for me? I'm going to share my screen instead, so just let me know when you can see it. I'm sharing my screen now. Can you see it? Just give me your overview around the website. Does it have all of the information needed for someone who wants to be a volunteer, or do I need to change anything? Yes, please. Okay. Yes. Does it really say who can volunteer? What job role of professionals can volunteer with Bincom Global? Yes, I think you should really look at it because it does mention that, but I just need your confirmation. Any luck? Were you able to find any information? Okay, not at this time, so thank you for that overview, Gemini. Nothing else, nothing else. Thank you. Okay, so I think that's really it. So we can see that AI is still improving, it keeps improving, and interestingly, it will not stop. Like it's not going to stop. So you need to start embracing, AI if you haven't. If you are scared of using AI, the only thing you need to do is just understand the ethical way of using all of these AI tools. All right, so hopefully this was very, very informative, and I am open to questions. But the host, Amira, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Olivia, for that very, very insightful presentation. And I'm sure we all learned a lot, and it was a really, really engaging and insightful session. So please, if you have any questions, you can just raise your hands or put them in the chat box so it can be read out. Please, let's ask questions because it really tells us that you listened and you gained one or two things from the session. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, and we have the privilege of having Mr. Bade, our Chief Technology Officer, with a distinguished career in technology leadership, AI engineering management. Mr. Bade has consistently driven innovation and technology excellence across diverse industries. And Mr. Bade's expertise extends to optimizing technology to achieve business objectives effectively, and he will dive into the best practices for integrating AI into business operations, highlighting the strategic advantages and practical applications that can propel your organizations forward. So get ready to take plenty of notes because the insights you're about to hear are not just practical, they are literally game-changing. And remember, if you have any questions, feel free to jot them down and we'll address them during the Q&A session after the presentation. So thank you. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Bade. Mr. Bade, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the introduction. Can you hear me though? Just confirm that you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. I appreciate the introduction, and for my session is really, really short because what I'm hoping we would do is more discussions, conversations than the rest of the presentation that we've had so far. But I wanted to just share a few thoughts just before we get into that conversation aspect of today's session. And the thought is just AI is moving rapidly. It's one of the technology that has moved fastest so far. And the truth is that AI is not new. I've actually been working with artificial intelligence for almost 10 years, but not generative artificial intelligence. But even for Gen AI, that in itself was not new because over the years, you had heard about things like IBM Super Deep Blue. You had heard about quite a number of different machines that was in development. And so what has changed is the fact that AI has now been democratized. Unlike some other organizations, what OpenAI did was that they came from a perspective of open sourcing what was available as AI. And so with the IBMs of this world, Google had been building DeepMind for many, many years. But OpenAI beat them to putting this public. And the truth is, by putting it public, making us have access, these regular people have access to the likes of ChatGPT back then in 2022, that changed the landscape. It may be taking a few years and months for us to be catching up in terms of general organization-wise. But the truth is, as of today, your team members have access to AI in almost every single tool that they use. They have access to AI on their WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram, simply going to Gemini.com or ChatGPT.com, installing specific app, Perplexity. There are several of these tools, all of them well-trained, mostly well-trained to be able to carry out basic tasks. I'm not going to go into the technicalities in terms of what stage are we and so on. But the key thing is that your team already have access to these tools. And so it's not a case of ignoring. It's not a case of ignoring what already exists. It's not a case of ignoring this that is already in front of us. It's a question of how do we adapt as an organization? How does your organization adapt to this new world? Also, In terms of AI generally, one of the things I typically say is that AI will not take your job, but somebody using AI will take your job. And this is both for an individual and also for corporates. The reason is very simple. AI is typical, and Olivia has demoed some really great use cases of AI. I can tell you that there are several of these use cases that you just need to log on to a website and it gives you access to tools that you may not have had before now. And so the onus lies on you as an individual and also as an organization to make sure that you are making the best use of these tools that are readily available to you. Some of them are free, some of them are open source, but some of them you pay a token. But the truth is that if you compare the productivity that these tools can give you, if you're able to reduce your staffing, for example, or increase your profitability by 10x, you may want to make that payment. These tools are available and readily available. You cannot ignore them. You must not ignore them. The way you did business last year or 2 years ago, you need to review based on the landscape that has changed. And I'll tell you about a technology that I was also part of, forefront of, which is social media many years ago. I used to consult in Nigeria. I used to consult for social media for banks in Nigeria. And one of those banks, so our team was part of the team that started social media for the banks like Intercontinental Bank, GT Bank, and a few of those back in the days, right? But one of those banks, I won't mention the name of the bank because it doesn't really matter anymore right now. In meeting with the corporate executive, the senior executive of the bank, one of the things he said is our bank is a conservative bank. We don't do social media. Guess what happened? Many months later, they had to come look for us because the bank said they don't do social media. Somebody created social media for them and started defrauding their customer using the bank's name. And so although they said they don't do it because they're a conservative bank, they actually did not have a choice. Their board, their management just did not realize it until significant damage had been done to some of their customers. We are in that same tipping point at this point in time for AI. It's been available for over 3 years. So we're not even, it's been, ChatGPT was around 2022 that it became democratized, available to the world. And every other giant player started releasing all the things they had been working on. And for those that were not working on anything, they started working on something and started releasing incremental, better use of AI. You can't do it. But we are not at the point of artificial super intelligence. Artificial super intelligence is the point when machines can think faster than humans. We are not even at the point of artificial general intelligence, which is at the point where it's a par with human thinking. But AI as a tool is available to get you, once you give it the right instruction, it can do research, it can do writing, it can do development, it can do several things, and so some of those examples have been shared. A question for you as a business owner then is, what should you be doing now? We've talked to you about things like AI ethics, to say your team members need to be aware. Your team members need to be aware of things like hallucination. To say AI today, maybe 1 out of 100 times may get something wrong. You can think of it as a very efficient junior analyst. You can think of it as a super brilliant junior developer. but it's not at the level of a senior developer. It's not at the level of the decision maker. It certainly will not take, in terms of it certainly is not something you need to be able to trust for you to be liable for the things it has done. Ultimately, you are still liable as the owner. You are still accountable. And so you need to be careful and make sure that within your organization, within the way that you're doing and using AI, you're doing it in the best possible way, making sure that you think about security, you think about use of data, because your team members need to know that your corporate data, you need to either use it within a closed AI, or some of those data could actually be used to train AI in the future. So there's a lot of knowledge there. And so what we want to just say is don't get overwhelmed. Understand that the new world is here. Understand that this world is not going to go back. So you can't just put your head in the sand like an ostrich. Instead, you need to adopt it and figure out, what can I do? What should I be doing now? And of course, if you need a little bit of help, we're here to help you as well. We're here to look at your organization, look at your team, look at you as an individual, and be able to profile direction. Interesting thing is, and one of the demos that we did today was that if you need to learn anything today, including using AI, you can actually just go to an AI bot to ask questions. We've shown you a demonstration of that today, and that can be a good place for you to start. You can go to any one of those tools that we've shown you and say to it, oh, I'm in this specific industry. What are some of the tools that could be of use to me today? You can go to it and say, I'm in charge of this specific process in my organization. What can I do better? And believe you me, it's going to give you suggestion based on its training. And in some cases, for AI tools that have access to the internet, we'll go to the internet, do more research, and come back to you with what you need. And so I'm going to pause there, because what we wanted to do is to just ensure that you take a look, because I've spoken generally, because I know this is a general audience, but we would like to help. We would like to have a conversation about your own specific circumstance. How can you make the best use of AI? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Bade, for that. It was good to hear from you, and that was a really, really insightful presentation. Thank you, sir. So please, if you have any question, please drop it on the chat box or raise your hand so you can unmute to speak.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I really enjoyed myself, and I'm so happy to be part of this event, because if I haven't have attended this event, I would have been like, no. But I really enjoyed myself. But to be sincere, I've been stick to some AI tools, but today I was opportune to know more of free tools that we can use for our business, content, and so many other things. But so I really enjoyed myself, actually. And
Please, is anybody still speaking? Because not hearing anything. Okay, so here is a question. So how do you think organizations can approach the training and policies around the AI use, considering that many employees are already using various AI tools?
So I'm assuming the question is for me, so I'll just say, can I go ahead?
Yes, sir, please go ahead.
Okay, then. So the answer would be depending on the organization. So different organizations would have different approach to this. But the key point is no organization should ignore, is what we're saying. For some organization, if they have their team members have official laptop and they are in a closed environment, some organizations literally ban all AI tools from their company laptops and company equipment and so on. And then gradually they expose the ones that they have vetted or the ones that they have control over, usually on the own. But for organizations that operate things like bring your own device, some sort of AI policy is also needed to make sure that for them as an organization and their team members, they at least have some sort of policy that is available. Now, not everybody will go to policy if you don't have technology to make sure you'd have things like data loss prevention and so on. But that's at least a starting point for smaller businesses. Help your team members know what you tolerate and what you don't. Help your team members understand what they should do and not do. And then you can go on from there. So that would be a good place to start. Now, the interesting thing is that if you want a generic policy AI, you can literally go to Perplexity, for example, and say my organization is this type of organization with this type of requirements, with this type of client. Could you generate an AI policy for my organization? And believe you me, it's going to generate something that is a very good first draft for you to start with. And so that's what you should do. Spend some time just thinking about it. Of course, if you need a little more help, we do have consulting part of our business that could also help you. But that's a good place to start. Thank you.
Another question is, what are some practical ways that this company can actually start integrating AI into their operations, given the increasing accessibility AI?
Can you take that question again?
I said, what are some practical ways that companies can start integrating AI into their operations, given its increasing accessibility?
Okay. I think it's really just understanding which of the tools that you want to use and what operation you want that tool to, to deliver at the end of the day. Like the second speaker said, they are really, companies differs, their needs differs. So it's really what do I need to solve or what do I need that tool for at the end of the day. You can have a general and a general training just to show your team how to use a specific tool. You can ask your team to, read up on this tool, and then they can come back to give you feedback around what they think about that tool. They think it will solve the problem, or you need to, try a different tool.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so if you have any questions, please, guys, should feel free to drop it in the chat box. So they'll be answered. Okay, so any questions? If there are no questions, please you can just say no questions so we know that you are with us.
No questions from my end.
Thank you. Okay, so at Bincom ICT, we specialize in delivering websites and ICT solutions to empower businesses to make significant impact in their industries. And then we pride ourselves in listening to your needs and educating you on the possibilities and providing reliable, effective solutions tailored to your goals. And then we always have a webinar like this once a month. So you can catch us at this webinar sometime next month as well, and the month after that. And I hope we all had an impactful and, a very, very good session, because I know I did, and I learned a lot. I hope we all have one or two things to take home from this session. And thank you all for coming. It was really, really nice to have your audience and to have you here with us. And I look forward to seeing you all on our next webinar. Have a nice day. Bye.
Don't sit down, turn around, and let's get out of this town where the people have scars just from living. And let's drive on down below.